Dance Crew Vintage, and he's got a live performance lined up for us at the end of the show. It'll blow your mind.
Yeah, and he's so amazing. He's one of the most extra people I've ever met. Now, we have all fallen in love with Afternoon Express's new furry friends, Donut and Baxter. But today we catch up with what's been going on in their very busy lives. And we also chat to a pet adoption expert from Sidewalk Specials, who has brought two more adorable little friends along, and they are looking for a permanent home. But I love the fact that you said that you've become Baxter's agent.
Yeah, I'm Baxter's manager now. Like, people call me for pictures, people sending him gifts.
Baxter's life is busy.
Yeah.
So Donuts as well.
Exactly. But joining us first, she's one of South Africa's best love actresses. You may know her as Tembi from Rhythm City or as the feisty spoiled brat Lumka on Generations.
But if you were more of a movie buff, then you'll remember her from the acclaimed local rom-com Happiness is a Four-Letter Word, where she played the title role of Nandi. It's Mmabatho Montsho.
Cheers, friends. If only love was what it was in the movies, huh?
You mean fake?
I mean, everybody wants happy endings.
I'm flying out now.
You just got here and you're leaving again.
Call you when I land.
I know it's soon, but...
Oh, you know what? I have a meeting in like 10 minutes, so you have to go. So I'm a partner.
Welcome to the big boys.
So, hi.
Hi.
I met someone. Another toy boy, let me guess. A model, a rapper.
No, actually, he's an artist. And Deep.
I love Deep. Starts with a pat on the back, then a nice pat on the leg, and boom, you're sweating in the bumps.
Jeez, I'm not thirsty. That's never gonna happen. Thank you for the flowers.
What flowers?
This is a milestone deal for Southern Africa.
I can't take this case. Chris and I have history.
He specifically requested you.
Well, to me, it's already sounding like something it shouldn't be.
This is how this is gonna work, okay? You are a client. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yes, ma'am.
You do know that you're playing with fire, right?
I am just saying, it wouldn't hurt to go the extra mile to impress the partner.
As a married woman, if you're gonna cheat with someone who's married. Then it's not cheating. I don't love you. I never do.
It's about the lies! Lies all this time!
Guys, why all this drama around these men? I thought they were just meant to be like a light distraction.
Oh, I love that film. And, you know, when I was watching it, I kept on thinking it looked like it was such fun to work on. Did you really enjoy it? What was the experience like for you?
Well, it was like three friends meeting up every day to work. So, yeah, it was quite a fun experience.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It definitely shows through, and there's an authenticity about it.
I love it.
You've always struck me as somebody who's... you don't chase the limelight. It somehow is always seeking you out. And just glancing at you while we were watching clips of the film, what's it like watching yourself?
But you know how it is, it's awkward. But because also I'm a director, I tend to want to direct myself when I'm watching myself. But I enjoyed watching it because I haven't seen it in a long time.
A while,
yeah.
So we met you so many years ago, I suppose, when you started off with Generations. But before that, you started a fashion line, and I think you started off as a clothing director, as a clothing designer. I can't even speak today. What was your initial passion, and what was it that you wanted to follow? I suppose, because I think, you know, with Bonnie, she definitely wanted to be an actress, and I definitely wanted to be a TV presenter. But I think with you, you are so talented. You can do anything.
Multifaceted, yeah.
I always wanted to be a director. From around 13, 14, I knew that's precisely what I wanted to do. But I come from a family on both sides where there were seamstresses, designers, so it was just something I knew how to do.
Natural progression.
And I wanted to be independent. I was fresh out of high school. I was 18, 19, and I thought a friend of mine and I decided we were going to start a business, and we did. And fashion was the thing we could do immediately. You know, you have an idea now, you buy fabric now, you put it together now, you sell it now. And the creative process has a beginning and end that happens quite quickly. And it made money. We needed the money.
Do you still make stuff for yourself?
Not in a long time, eh?
Yeah.
No, not for a very long time. Yeah.
It's such an amazing skill because imagine, like I always fantasize, like having a skill like what you do, that if you're going out on Friday night and you think, shucks, I've got nothing to wear, and then you quickly whip yourself. I mean, I wish I knew how to do
She's
that.
got a lot of work just for a night out, though. I don't
Well,
know.
you know, when I dress up, you'll know about
But
it.
I have, though. I have done that before.
Really? Just whip it up quickly.
Yeah. When there's
I
a very
love that.
specific event that you're going to, well, at the time, but you know when you're young, you've got a lot of energy.
Yeah.
And you want to be unique, so I would make something there and then.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then you transitioned into acting. We saw you on Rhythm City, Jacob's Cross, Generations, and still you had the directing dream in mind.
Yeah.
And how did you find the acting scene? Was it something you felt like, you know, I like this, but I'm still not exactly where I want to be?
I enjoyed it, but I kind of looked at it as school because at the time I hadn't gone to film school or anything like that. So being on a set gave me an opportunity to learn about what I eventually wanted to do without having to pay for it, with experienced people, with talented people, and I could ask questions to everyone in every different department.
Yeah.
So I certainly looked at it as a learning experience.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it, yeah.
Was your role on Generations your first acting role?
Yes.
Ever?
So I learned how to act in front of the country. yeah.
What was that audition process like? And then what was it like? I mean, that must be terrifying.
It was so
going on-
long. Yeah. So when I went to the first audition, they had a call sheet and they had put me on the call sheet. So I looked and I saw all the other names that were auditioning. And I just thought, why bother? Why am I here? But you know, as you get closer to the audition, I thought, actually, I'm here. I'm going to enjoy the moment. There's a camera. We're shooting. I'm going to give it my best.
I love those transitions you go through before an
exactly.
audition.
It
It's
feels
like a whole
lifetime.
audition on its own.
Yes, exactly. And I think I went to about 5 different auditions because we kept on starting over, callbacks.
Yeah.
So it was quite a long process. I think it took about 4 months before I actually got the job.
Because it's quite a first gig to get. How did it change your life?
Oh, dramatically, in ways that I didn't expect. I don't think anyone can prepare you for like life on television.
Sure.
So it was quite a drastic change, but it also gave me a different kind of independence because at first I was running this business, with a friend of mine. And then now I had signed a contract, I had a salary, I had to think about buying a house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I felt quite grown up. I felt like an adult.
Yeah, absolutely. And then happiness is a 4-letter word. So when you first read the script, what did you think? Did you immediately identify yourself? Because there's some films or scripts you start to read and you're like, this is a world I want to play in.
I think the first thing that struck me about the script was how relatable it was. I've read so many scripts, but it was the first time I was reading a script that was written for a feature by a black woman. And I could recognize the people in the story and the things that they were doing. And of course, it helps that it was an adaptation from another book that was written by a black woman. So there were things I didn't have to explain or say, no, but this wouldn't happen like this. No, but why is this friendship like this? Yeah. So there were conversations one didn't need to have. I could just read the script and think about the character.
That's incredible.
That's
well,
helpful.
You're not leaving. You're mesmerizing, and we just love. Jeannie and I think are just staring at you dreamily. We're just like, keep talking.
There's so much more I want to ask you. I want a lot more time with you, but you're going to be back with us in a bit. So make sure you head over to our social media platforms and join in the conversation online. We are asking, if you could play a role in a local soapie, what type of role would it be? The evil villain, the rich business mogul, the charming playboy, or the obsessive mother? Tweet us at Afternoon Chat using the official hashtag Afternoon Express or comment on our Facebook page. Oh, I wish I could be in a soapie.
Oh, I thought
It's
you
my
were going to
dream.
say you wish you could be the obsessive mother.
My goodness, I was going to say the playboy. Just the playgirl.
We'll be back with more from Mmabatho after the break. Plus, we look at a day in the lives of Baxter and Donut. It's a lot in the day of their lives. And we recently adopted Afternoon Express pets and how they've integrated into our studio environment. We'll take a look when we're right back.
Whiskers, feed their curiosity.
Training is a part of welcoming puppies and kittens into the family, and in the case of Baxter and Donut, integrating them into the studio environment is also something we have been working on to ensure that they feel safe and happy together on set and that they just get along.
As with any pets, training is important, especially when you're becoming a star. Ansi Minna, director of Hot Dog Animal Actors, is training our fur babies to make sure they are ready for their on-screen appearances and happy in their studio environment.
What we've got here today is we've got socializing classes. So the puppies learn at this age to get on well with other puppies of their own age, where they can be themselves. If you only put them with adult dogs, they're kind of reserved, as like a kid with granny. They're not going to act the same way. But if you put puppies with puppies, they start to test themselves, their muscles, see what they can and can't do, and you'll start to see their true character coming out. In terms of her training, Donut, she's a darling. She's so intelligent. She's so willing. We're teaching her the basics at the moment, which is the sit down, wait, stay, come, walk to heel, lie down. And then once we've got all of those things done, then we'll start on certain tricks so that her life in the studio becomes one that is of interest and not just boring, but interesting, stimulating work that she would learn to love. The socializing aspect between cat and dog, Donut and Baxter, that is perhaps the area of most concern at the moment, because although Donut, being a typical terrier, would love to go in there and just play, but Baxter unfortunately is not of the same opinion, so a little bit of socializing, a lot of socializing work going on there at the moment.
Being comfortable in studio is a major part of Donut and Baxter's life. So Ansi has been working with their integration into these surrounds and with each other.
So a kitten is a whole different ballgame. Again, it's very important to pick the right personality, because you don't want to pick a shy, skitsy kitten, because not only are you placing it under stress in time to come, but it's not going to be enjoying itself, and we want everybody to be having fun. So the one thing Baxter wasn't introduced to before he came here is dogs. So it's very important that they become best of buddies so they can happily work together. So this is precisely why we need to spend a little bit of time integrating the two of them. Right now, Baxter is a little bit nervous because of this bundle is so explosive. As you can see, Baxter didn't actually take the treat there. The minute I bring Donut close, Baxter stops taking food. So we want to get to a place where Baxter happily eats with Donut right next to him. So there's absolutely no concern or fear or anything like that. So we start initially in a closed crate, then we move to an open crate. We then get to a situation where I can literally feed them almost side by side, just not in each other's face as yet. As you can see, we've got to quite a good point at this stage. A cat or a dog will not eat anything if they are stressed. So I'm very happy with these two. Very, very happy. It's going to go well.
Stay tuned to follow our fur babies growing up, as well as insight into being a pet owner with our friends from Pedigree and Whiskers. Cute. Now, if you would like to see more of these two in and out of the studio, you can follow them on Instagram at The Adventures of Baxter and The Adventures of Donut.
And
so
if you want Baxter for any shoots or any appearances, I'm his agent, so you can actually call me.
They are cute, aren't they?
They are adorable.
Love a little puppy. All right, now back to you. Because today is all about you, of course, not the doggies and the kittens.
But you also paint, Mmabatho, and you painted this beautiful portrait that was used by a Mail and Guardian. What inspired it? Apart from the subject, of course.
The jacket or the portrait?
The portrait.
The jacket. Was the one that was used by
jacket was the one that was
yeah,
used, but you did two of them. You did a portrait and the jacket, right?
Yes. So the one that you're seeing there on the Mail and Guardian, it actually it came to me in a vision, because that's how the paintings that I do came to me in line with this theme of women of prayer. So when I did the painting, I didn't know that it was symbolic and it actually had a meaning. It was after I showed people that they explained to me that no. When women of prayer in the Methodist Church pass away, their jacket, there's a whole ceremony that's done where the other members of the Manyano women's thing come to the home, hang up the jacket. It happens about a couple of days before the funeral.
That's incredible.
So, it was incredible when it happened.
Spiritual experience, yeah.
So because Mamuini was a member of the Women's Manyano, I sort of posted it as a tribute to her, and then the Mail and Guardian got in touch and they asked if they could use it, which was fantastic because usually we have to explain these aspects of our culture, you know what I mean? And we had this editor and this people that didn't need to be explained to. They just knew exactly what it meant and they wanted to use it. And it was incredibly humbling to be part of the national mourning process.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Millie's amazing that way as well.
Yeah.
But you really are such an amazing artist. I saw a piece of yours also with the woman in prayer, and it was just her face was just flowers, and it was such a beautiful piece. It really was super symbolic as well. But you call yourself a closet artist. Why is that?
Well, because I mean, I've painted my whole life, but people who've known me my whole life didn't know that I paint. So. I suppose thanks to social media, I kind of put it out there, but it's always been such a personal thing. But when these visions did start coming to me, I found them so healing that I thought if they healed me, surely somebody else might have the same feeling, and that's why I shared them.
Are you going to do any kind of exhibitions or anything?
Yeah. I have been invited to a couple of exhibitions.
That's beautiful.
So I'm working with a mentor.
Yes. That's amazing. I hope to see
you paint when you're sad or when you want to remember who you are. Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. And do you find you kind of that narrative carries through the other artistic work that you do?
Well, I mean, I've painted out of just pure creativity. I just felt like being creative, but how these paintings came about, they came through a vision. And those visions would come when I was feeling incredibly sad or emotional, or when I was kind of feeling lost.
Needing comfort,
and then I would get these very intense visions, which at first I thought were like calls to write a script. So I would start writing away, and they would not go away until I drew or painted. And that's how it was born. So I don't know where it's going, but it's insisting on itself, and I'm just submitting to it.
Yeah. Let's talk about your directing work. I mean, directing is it's not an easy space for women, just because I feel like in South Africa the industry, and perhaps the world still it leans towards favoring men, of course. And even when we look at the films that are coming out of South Africa, a lot of them are men, subjects about men or stories about men. And you obviously write and direct. So and you have a passion for writing for women and about women. Tell us about where you're at with that, and what are your hopes for the future, and what are you working on now?
I think one of the most important things is I hear a lot of people saying you're one of the few female directors, and that's not true. There are many female directors. The problem is that they're not given an opportunity to be in the industry. So for me, the biggest dream is to start creating a lot more work for myself and for other women. We've got these little groups on WhatsApp. We speak to each other. We share work with each other. But we're all doing it sort of individually. There, you doing your project. I'm there doing my project. And I think so much more could happen if we clubbed together and sort of forced the industry to take us on. There are these little ghettos where women are only allowed to direct female-driven stories, as if we can't tell any other story or we have no perspective on any other narrative. And those are the things that need to change. But for as long as me getting a job means impressing a man, it means I have to direct a certain way or tell a certain type of story. But if we take ownership of those spaces where we're going to produce our own work and really work together to be a force to reckon with, then we can change the entire narrative.
But it is so doable. Like if you look at the work that, with Nicole Kidman and Reese Witherspoon with Big Little Lies, they were experiencing the same problem in Hollywood, that they just weren't getting any work. So they just did it on their own, and I think it's amazing.
And the way this industry works is that you can be in the most successful production. When you're not going to walk away as a millionaire.
Yeah.
You can be an award-nominated director, which I am, but it doesn't change your rate, even though you know what your rate is.
And
know what I
something
mean?
that's very triggering that you said for me is that being in an interview or pitching for a job where you have to impress a man.
Yes.
And we're still in that space in the world where men require more than just you being a good director for you to impress them.
There's a thing called an elevator pitch, right? I don't know if you know about it. You should be able to pitch what your idea is in the time it takes an elevator to move from point A to point B. And it struck me the other day that men are so good at it because there's so little they have to explain to each other. Right? They live with each other, they get each other's nuances. So you can just say, this happened to this guy, and they're like, yeah. Whereas with us, there's so much that you have to explain. I first have to explain that, no, in a woman's world, this would happen. And then I have to explain, no, in a black woman's world, this would happen. So
well,
it
also
makes those things tough.
in
You know
a
what I
Me
mean?
Too world, it's also tough.
Oh, absolutely.
Because there's all those resistances that you have to fight through until somebody's just listening to you because you're a talented human being.
And you have an incredible idea on the table.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I mean, I think we are fighting those battles. We are championing them. There are so many women who are getting braver and braver to speak, but also to tell the stories in the way that they believe those stories should be told. So there is direction.
Yeah. Well, I have no doubt that we're going to see more of your paintings and more of your beautiful face on screen, because I'm sure people are always sending you scripts. But most of all, we're really excited about your directing journey.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on the show. You really are inspirational.
Yeah.
And just
Thank you.
amazing. Like, I was looking at your Instagram and I thought, in a world where you are so, like, you're not like this, but you are so beautiful, like you could easily go and be one of those, you know, like sexed up kind of, and you're just so classy.
She could easily be a slay queen.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't want to get into it. I like slay queens. I don't have a problem with them.
I love slay queens.
Well, I guess you could take the easy road of just capitalizing on what you look like, but it's something you throw away. It's not something you wear or perform.
It's not the value you hold to
Yeah,
yourself. It's
yeah.
really lovely.
Well, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So make sure you head over to our social platforms and join in on the conversation. We're asking, if you could play a role in a local soapie, what type of role would it be? Tweet us at Afternoon Chat using the hashtag Afternoon Express, or comment on our Facebook page.
I want to be the villain or the slay queen now. Yeah, that's the new one.
Okay.
And after the break, we chat to hip-hop artist, stylist and dance choreographer, Mr Allofit. Plus, he'll be performing at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, as you know, we have two new loving members in our family, our fur babies, Baxter and Donut. Besides watching their journey on the show, you can see more of these two by following them on Instagram. Yes, they have Instagram pages. Head over to Instagram and search The Adventures of Donut and The Adventures of Baxter for a closer look at their lavish lives, both in and out of studio.
They're cute, they're cuddly, and they're TV stars. Baxter and Donut, the adorably fluffy four-legged members of the Afternoon Express family, are sharing their daily adventures on social media. To see what Baxter and Donut get up to behind the scenes, follow The Adventures of Baxter and The Adventures of Donut on Instagram.
Now, Mr Allofit is easily one of South Africa's most extravagant hip-hop artists. Last year, he released his second solo mixtape called 5 to Mainstream and has been labelled as one of the stars to watch out for in 2018.
Now, before his solo career, he was co-founder of the award-winning Vintage Dance Crew, as well as a celebrity stylist. With so much on his plate, he really lives up to his name.
I'm looking for the target, bullseye, I spotted. Who comes and who goes, free throws, he started. Stunty Mr. Allofit, stunty Mr. Allofit, stunty Mr. Allofit. Call me Mr. Allofit, I'm looking for the target, bullseye, I spotted. Who comes and who goes, free throws, he started. Stunty Mr. Allofit, stunty Mr. Allofit, stunty Mr. Allofit. Call me Mr. Allofit.
Yeah. Mr. Allofit, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence today.
I'm grateful. I'm happy to be here.
I was so excited to see you in the makeup room because the last time I saw you, you were around 8.
Yes.
And you were so nunus. You were my favorite little person. And there you were in the makeup room. And you were like, Bonnie, it's me. And I was like, what? Oh my goodness. Look at you.
Yes. All grown up.
Grown somewhat.
Look at him, he's so nunus.
Oh, so nunus.
5 to Mainstream.
5 to Mainstream, yes.
Tell us about that concept.
5 to Mainstream, I'm a very spiritual being, obviously because of my background and, you know, my family. So 5 to Mainstream for me is a prophetic word that I've fully declared over my life, fully declared over everything I do, that I am almost there and there's nobody that can stop me and there's nobody that can get in the way of the progress. You know, I know that I'm not there yet because, you know, I'll never be satisfied. But I know that I'm gonna get to where I need to be to feel fulfilled.
Yeah.
You know?
Let's talk about your family and the construct, the social cultural construct that you come from. So I know him from when I was a child because I used to go to your grandmother's church.
Yes.
And so you come from a very religious background. Tell us about the conversation when you told your family that this is who you were, this is what you were going to do, and this is how you wanted to present.
Yes, so my family obviously took it very, it was strange because they expected me to be, you know, who they expected me to be Usigalela, who's very, you know, focused on what they expect me to be focused on, and didn't really expect me to be this glamorous and to be
this extra.
To be Mr. Allofit.
To be Mr. Allofit,
you know, because my grandmother, as you know, my grandmother is a pastor.
Yeah.
My uncles and aunts and everybody is very deep in the church, and that doesn't take anything away from the teachings and, you know, the teachings that I've been taught by them, the values.
Yeah.
But it was just like, you know what, I don't have to be a certain way for them.
But did they handle that well?
They did not handle that well at all. But it's funny because it took them a few years. I think it took them about 5 years. I think me getting my matric certificate for them was because I started pushing this vibe very early. So once I passed matric, they were like, okay, we've done our job. Whatever you do now, do it. And
I mean, you're Mr. Allofit and you make everything look beautiful and glamorous and wonderful, but I'm sure there were dark times when people around you, people who care about you, are saying, we need to pray this thing out of you, or this is not how we want you to be and we're never going to accept it. Something has gone terribly wrong. How did you deal with that for yourself and just affirming your position and the choices you made?
I think, so it was around grade 10 when Vintage Crew formed, and it was a group of, it was me, Lachey and Ashwin, and we you know, spoke over Facebook. Facebook is actually a very dope social platform, you know?
You think?
So we had a conversation over Facebook. We're like, you know, listen, we have to start this all-queer dance crew, whacking and voguing. That was still a fresh vibe here in South Africa.
Yeah.
We eventually met, hooked up, whatever, and the support system that I think we formed, because we're these strange kids in society that nobody understood, and we literally built each other's backbones. We're like, you know what, we're facing the world, and we just need to, you know, hold each other's hands, and, you know, so we literally built each other, you know. I won't say my family at that time was supportive or anything. I literally had to be strong for myself, and my friends obviously would, you know, help me. I'd go cry and be like, oh my God, I'm feeling like this, and my friends were always there for me. And funny enough, my family is actually the most supportive right now.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, I think you must have known from such a young age exactly that you were all of it, because I heard that you were really young at school and you were part of the Gabriels.
Yeah.
What were the Gabriels exactly?
So the Gabriels was Mpumelelo Macheke. Now he's known as the suburban Zulu, imagine. So
no, I can imagine.
Yes.
I can imagine.
So him and I used to, I mean, we were
Zulu. I love him already.
We were underage. We were these underage kids who were partying. You know, I mean, I used to take my uncle's ID because him and I look alike. I used to take his ID and I used to like enter the club. I mean, Latinova was my place. All those clubs in Johannesburg, Lelo and I used to go there and we used to shoot our night out. And on top, not to show like fun per se, the episodes, we had 4 episodes. The episodes were always like us partying and, you know, fashion, but we also had photo shoots we used to do. We covered the last episode we did, we covered Nomuzi's, when she won the MTV Base thing. She asked us to do her promo pictures, you know, so I would dress her. Lelo was the photographer. So it was more like a work hard, play hard. These 2 young boys who are just super dope, but they're ahead of their time. And back then, YouTube wasn't even, people weren't making money off YouTube back then in South Africa.
Yeah.
Now they are.
I'm very interested to know, just conceptually, what are the elements that make up Mr Allofit? It's definitely voguing, it's whacking, there's a lot of dance, fashion. What else? What else are you driving?
I'm pushing. What am I pushing? I'm pushing. I want people to look at me and be like, I can be whoever I want to be. I can be myself. I can be the most extreme version of myself, and society will eat it all up, you know?
Yeah. And they'll ask for more.
And they'll ask for more. Yeah. I'm not putting up, this is not a gimmick, this is not an act, this is a lifestyle.
It's radical self-expression, and I wish more people had the confidence to just do it and just be themselves.
I second that.
Yeah, radical self-expression. More of it is needed in the world.
I love that.
People must just honestly be themselves, guys. It's the best thing you can do for yourself.
It's freedom. It's true freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm trying to do.
Well, we're so happy for you, and I'm so glad you turned out this way.
But now I can't wait for you to perform, because I've actually never seen you perform before live. And I mean, I believe it's extra, and I believe it's amazing, because I think you must be so focused, because it must be so hard to be styling, singing, writing, this, that. You do so much.
And creating it as content, packaging it as content.
Yes. I mean, I struggle with my producers. I sit there and I'll get there with a chorus and I'll be like, okay, so this is how the chorus is, and I only have one instrument I have in mind. You need to now build the song. Here's the chorus, build the beat, and then we sit there. So I'm so involved in everything that sometimes, I mean, I even manage myself. You know, I handle all my emails, I handle all the music, I'm Mr. Allofit.
And your genre is hip-hop. That's the genre you're focusing on right now?
I don't want to say I have a genre, because
you are all of it.
Yes, I mean, I have dance hall tracks in my EP. I'm loving the like Afrobeat sound lately. I have trap. I'm doing a lot more trap now, but it's my version of trap. Obviously, you'll hear the track that I'm going to perform, Best Dressed, which is the first single off 5 to mainstream.
Wow.
Yeah, don't put me in a box.
No, it's all of it genres.
Yes.
All of it. Thank you so much. We're going to see you on our stage.
Too much love.
A little bit later.
And there better be nail polish changes as well. There better be.
So make sure you stay tuned until the end of the show and catch Mr Allofit performing live.
And after the break, we chat to a pet adoption specialist from Sidewalk Specials, and she's brought some adorable little friends along with her who are looking for a permanent home.
Cute. I wish I could take them all.
They're cute, they're cuddly, and they're TV stars. Baxter and Donut, the adorably fluffy four-legged members of the Afternoon Express family, are sharing their daily adventures on social media. To see what Baxter and Donut get up to behind the scenes, follow the adventures. Indulge with Bliss Double Cream Yogurt, made with love by Clover.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, Clover Bliss Double Cream's newly launched plain flavour is not only deliciously creamy, but also very luxurious with its smooth and silky texture. It's so indulgent that we are transporting back to some of our bliss-filled moments in life, like a family holiday or even just a special moment shared with loved ones. Now, my favourite bliss-filled moment was literally the whole of Top Travel, years and years of getting to travel and see the world. That was amazing. And most recently, I went skiing in Courchevel, which was phenomenal. And then I built an igloo in Canada.
Excuse us.
And then I went to Bali. I'm joking. No, but to travel, I think. Travel is always... Travel is the greatest thing in my world. I love it more than anything. What is yours?
So my most blissful moments are when I'm doing yoga. Like, yoga is that space that I go to that fixes everything in my life. Yoga and writing just basically heals everything in my life.
Sure.
But I did recently go skiing with my bear's mom in Colorado.
I saw in Colorado.
And that, I thought I was going to die because I was so afraid. But the adrenaline is amazing.
Yes. Okay, now how often do you do yoga? And do you do hot yoga or like more the breathing one?
So I try to do yoga every day.
Okay.
But if I don't manage to do it, I do. My mat is always out at home so that I'm like drawn to it. But hot yoga I find very strenuous on my body, and I get injured a lot when I do hot yoga. So I just focus on breathing, getting strong. So vinyasa makes me strong.
Because I need to go to classes where I remember phoning you the one day. I wanted Bonnie to come over, and she said, "No, I'm at home doing a self-practice." Like that takes so much discipline to do it on your own.
But you grow faster that way because you're relying on so much of yourself.
Okay, I'm going to try. That'll be a resolution for me.
Keep your mat out and ready.
Yeah, mine's always in my
do
car.
it. Yeah, see, that's the thing. It's got to be accessible.
Yeah.
So share with us what your blissful day would look like and head to our Facebook page or tweet us at Afternoon Chat, #Bliss.
Yes, have some of this.
Indulge with Bliss Double Cream Yogurt, made with love by Clover.
Now, after auditions in Durban, Cape Town and Port Elizabeth, the final leg of the presenter search on 3 auditions brought to you by Capitec and Mac Cafe is coming to Joburg. We are getting closer to finding the next face of SABC3, and Joburg, it is your turn this weekend. The auditions will be at the Wanderers Cricket Stadium on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Gates open at 8 a.m, so be sure to get there early. And all you have to do to register is register at the gate and then prepare yourself a short little link that'll show the judges that you are ready to be the new face of SABC3. So for all the audition details and what to expect on the day, visit us on presentersearchon3.com.
Step into the spotlight as South Africa's next TV superstar with Presenter Search on 3, proudly brought to you by Capitec and Mac Cafe.
Own the SABC3 stage as the newest host of top billing Afternoon Express or the Expresso Morning Show.
This is your last chance to be found on 3 at the Johannesburg auditions taking place on the 20th, 21st and 22nd of April at the Wanderers Cricket Stadium.
Visit presentersearchon3.com for more details.
With SABC3,
the stage is yours.
Welcome back. Now, if you thought that our furry friends Donut and Baxter were the cutest things you've ever seen, well, it's about to get a whole lot cuter in our loft. Sidewalk Specials is the incredible organization where we found our 2 cuties. And joining us now is the director at Sidewalk Specials, Michaela Tyfield, and she's here to share her knowledge of how to prepare your home for a puppy, along with her 2 friends, Baby Bear and Panda Bear. And Nana. Is Nana here as well?
So this is Nana.
That's Nana.
And this is Brown Bear.
Oh, they are adorable. How do you find the animals that you rescue? And where are the biggest rescues happening?
So we mainly find our dogs that we rescue during our outreaches. When we go, we do mass sterilization campaigns in various communities where we sterilize 400 sometimes dogs over a weekend. And at those outreaches, dogs are often surrendered or confiscated. And then we also take dogs off euthanasia lists. And if we have any reports of abuse or neglect, then we'll go in and...
Yes. Why do people abandon dogs? Or what are some of the circumstances under which most dogs and pets are abandoned or lost or just have nowhere to go?
Often it just comes down to poverty. When a family is struggling to feed themselves, often it's difficult to feed their pets.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even come down to a lack of love or compassion or care for their pet. It just comes down to the fact that there's not enough to go around.
Right.
And that's why we do the outreaches. It's why we do the sterilization campaigns, to try and reduce the population of the animals in the communities and also assist the communities to actually be able to better care for their pets.
Yeah. So if somebody's at home watching and they're thinking of adopting a rescue, these 2 little ones are up for adoption. So if you're in love, make sure you get in touch with us to find out how you can adopt them. But anyone who's interested in adopting a rescue, what are the considerations that they have to make around provision for the dog, the kind of space that they live in, and just creating a friendly home environment for a dog or a cat? Or
when it comes to a puppy, you're obviously going to want to chat to your kids about what puppies can and can't eat, what they can and can't do. You want to lift your wires up off the floor because puppies chew everything. You want to make sure the pool is secure and that you've puppy-proofed the home. And then it's about adapting your lifestyle. There's a new member of your family, whether it's going for more walks, going for more hikes as a family, spending maybe a bit more time at home, arranging play dates for your dog so that he's not left alone for too long.
Oh, wow. There's so much work that goes into it. I mean, there's also the vet fees. You also now have to open an Instagram page for your pet.
Of course, it's mandatory.
Well, just where if people want to contact you and they want to adopt a dog, please also, before that, just tell us how many pets are actually up for adoption right now.
Oh, my goodness. You know what, it changes every day. We have dogs coming in to us on a daily basis. We're rescuing on a daily basis. I think we're probably upwards of 25 at the moment.
25?
All in foster care, which is also why our organisation works so well. You know, the dogs aren't in a shelter, they're in loving foster homes where they have space to heal and be loved and, you know, make a mess. Oh, they found the biltong.
He found the biltong.
We have a secret stash of puppy biltong.
Well done, Jenny. Over to you.
Well, let me tell you that I actually posted a little Twitter video or something on the little puppies, and Twitter is going absolutely crazy. Everybody loves Nana and Brown Bear. They're so gorgeous. Now, we've enjoyed your responses to our questions on social media today, where we're asking, if you could play a role in a local soapie, what type of role would it be? If you haven't already joined the conversation, tweet us at Afternoon Chat using the official hashtag Afternoon Express or comment on our Facebook page. Now, stay right where you are, because after the break, we've got a live performance from hip-hop artist Mr Allofit.
Get a taste of the smooth island life and win big with Tropica Island of Treasure Maldives. Buy a Tropica, follow the entry details on the pack, and you could win daily airtime prizes, Daniel Klein watches, American Tourista luggage for your next adventure, vouchers from loot.co.za to shop the hot daily deals online, and the grand prize of a Kia Picanto. For competition T's and C's, visit tropica.co.za. And don't forget to watch Tropica Island of Treasure Maldives every Monday at 7:30 p.m. on SABC3.
Hey. 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 It's Good Afternoon Express. Hey, I told you.
I told you I'm best dressed.
Told you.
I told you.
Hey. Haha. Diamonds on me, I'm dripping. I ain't talking that real, that fake. I'm whipping. Fake Gucci for the children. Fake Balenciaga, Dolce & Gabbana, small street for the children. If not, I'm thrifty. If not, I'm thrifty. Designer, yeah, designer. I pick it up under $1. I'm best dressed, you gon' holla. I'm best dressed, you gon' holla. Holla, holla, yeah, holla. I'm best dressed, you gon' holla. I'm best dressed, you gon' holla. I'm best dressed, you gon' holla. I pick up the phone and dial to my designer homies, know you gon' be rich. I so sit down, catch up. You see my post, match up. 2-piece call the police, people pop tags and slag.
Then what?
Pop culture day. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, same sex Saturday. Who looking better?
One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. We've come to that part of the show we've all been waiting for. It's time to wrap up the show, but before we say goodbye, here to perform live, it's Mr Allofit with his new single, Best Dressed.
Hey, Afternoon Express, y'all ready? Woo! Yeah, I told you I'm best dressed. I told you. Yeah, diamonds on me, I'm dripping. I ain't talking that real, that fake, I'm whipping. Fake Gucci for the children. Fake Balenciaga, Dolce & Gabbana, small street for the children. If not, I'm thrifty. If not, I'm thrifty. Designer, yeah, designer. I pick it up under $1. I'm best dressed, you a holla. I'm best dressed, you a holla. Holla, holla, yeah, holla. I'm best dressed, you a holla. I'm best dressed, you a holla. I'm best dressed, you a holla. I pick up the phone and dial up to my designer homies, know I'm gonna be rich. I source it out, catch up. You see my post, match up. 2-piece call the police, people pop tags and slag. Then what? Pop culture day. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Same sex Saturday. Hey, who looking better than who? I'm getting over liquid blue. I'm getting over older fools. Outgrown these fools. Screw a degree, I dropped out of varsity 3 months in league. I went on 12, 4, 5 a week. Spend it on leisure, no strategy. Now I'm grown, nigga, cut the check. Cut it down like Monopoly. I don't dance now, I'm still making money moves. If Lychee hit me up, my nigga, you know it's time to. Yeah, I'm working on my brand, bruv. You get it, he get it, I do. But screw the money moves. If the money ain't coming to you, let's go. Ha, diamonds on me, I'm dripping. I ain't talking that real, that fake shit, I'm with. Fake Gucci for the children. Fake Balenciaga, Dolce & Gabbana, small street for the children. If not, I'm thrifty. If not, I'm thrifty. Designer, yeah, designer. I pick it up under $1. I'm best dressed, you a holla. I'm best dressed, you a holla. Holla, holla, yeah, holla. I'm best dressed, you a holla. I'm best dressed, you a holla. I'm best dressed, you a holla. The old me would've dropped a while ago, 2 months ago, actually. You heard my last tape, losing sunglasses, if not, hit the bucket, G. Who the tryna manage me? Outwork, yeah, probably. Screw your deal when the real deal, bout to snip, Grey's Anatomy. 3 stories, I'm chilling. Cross legs with the boots on for the children, nigga, I'm chilling. Like Ricky Rick, feed him Scooby snacks, straight chilling, yeah, we chilling. Now tell him, don't forget to tell us. You're rocking with the Rockefellers, the high key Cinderellas. Oh, but now you think you the baddest? Independent, yeah, that's all that matters. You getting shows like the matters. What percentage you giving a savage? I'm Kim K with the standards. Kanye with the bangers. The sauce, I'm dripping, no manners. No manners. Hey. Yeah, man. Hey, man. Don't be calling me on my phone. I'm dripping with the sauce, crazy. I'm dripping. You lame doing it. Diamonds on me, I'm dripping. I ain't talking that real shit, that fake shit, I'm with me. Fake Gucci for the children. Fake Balenciaga, Dolce & Gabbana, small street for the children. If not, I'm thrifty. If not, I'm thrifty. Designer, yeah, designer. I pick it up under $1. I'm best dressed, you a holla. I'm best dressed, you a holla. Holla, holla, yeah, holla. I'm best dressed, you a holla. I'm best dressed, you a holla. I'm best dressed, you a holla. Diamonds on me, I'm dripping. I ain't talking that real shit, that fake shit, I'm whipping. Fake Gucci for the children. Fake Balenciaga, Dolce & Gabbana, small street for the children. If not, I'm thrifty. If not, I'm thrifty. Designer, yeah, designer. I pick it up under $1. I'm best dressed, you a holla. I'm best dressed, you a holla. Holla, holla, yeah, holla. I'm best dressed, you a holla. I'm best dressed, you a holla. I'm best dressed, you a holla. Hello. Hey, goodbye.
Come here, over here. Here, we want more of it. We want to holler. Over here.
I have to know,
gosh.
what were those lyrics? Did you say I'm Kim K but with some standards?
I said I'm Kim K with the standards, Kanye with the bangers.
Wow.
That was really entertaining.
You're
I'm like
electrifying.
sweating and looking like a wet dog, but hey.
Thank you so much. That was a lit performance.
That was
we loved
great.
it.
Thank you so much.
Well done.
Coming up on the show tomorrow, it's all about street fashion as we chat to the founders of conscious streetwear brand Deep Settle Movement. Plus, we've got a live performance from DJ Shades.
We'll be back again tomorrow, same time, same place on Afternoon Express.
God bless.
Stage is yours. We'll see you then. Good night and happy eating. Mwah.
Bye.
Ciao.
Afternoon Express, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.